Let's sew our own serger cover. Welcome back. So I recently bought a serger, and as you see, my sewing machine has that nice plastic cover. My serger did not come with one, or did I get it one? And I have a cat who we have recently learned likes to play with the serger when we are not in the room. So I had this really fun fabric that had sewing machines and sewing items on it, as well as some neoprene, and we're going to make it a cover to go around the serger so the cat doesn't play with it. Before we get started with the measurements, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment and tell me what you want to see next. The first steps I did though was I measured my serger, so I saw how wide it was as well as how long it was and then how tall it was. And I recorded all of these measurements down, and that's what I'm going to be using to make the general shape. I'm just going to be making a general box shape. So these were my 3 different measurements. I had the height being 16 inches, the width was 14, and then the length or the depth was 15. And what I'm going to do is basically have this be a cube without a bottom, so there'll be 5 pieces in total, 2 on the side that will be the same, and then 2 on the other side that would be the same. So be cutting out 5 different rectangles where you have your 2 outer ones and then the 2 for the front and back and then 1 for the top. And I just used those exact measurements that I gotten before and then just cut out my rectangles so that it would be very simple to do. And I did this with the cotton material that I had, and then I'm going to do the exact same cutting for the neoprene as well. And then that will eventually give me 10 rectangles in total. So you can see here that I've already cut out my neoprene, so that's for the top, and then I have 2 for the sides and then 2 for the other side, so 4 in total of the cotton and then 4 in total of the neoprene. And now it will be time to piece all of this together. So this will be very simple to do with right sides together. For your cotton, you will want to pin the rectangles for the outside together. So you have 4 of those rectangles. So just whatever, if you have like an exact square, it won't matter, but if you have items with different dimensions, so like let's say we call them A were the ones for the front and the back, and then B were the ones for the sides, be sure that you match up like A and B for one piece and then A and B for another piece, and then you will do that exact same pattern for your neoprene. And then we will just be sewing all of this up. You could skip all of these steps if you just wanted to use one piece of fabric if you had a quilted material, but I did not have any, which is why I went with the neoprene and the cotton. So next what it was time to do was basically just pin all of these with right sides together. So pinning the 2 neoprene rectangles now as one, and then pinning the cotton, those 2 rectangles together also as one, and then just taking those 2 seams along either side. So this is very similar if you saw my video on how I made a fabric cube, very similar to that. So now that I have that done, it's time to attach the top onto our cover. So as you can see, I did this with the neoprene already. I put the top of the neoprene just all the way around and then pinned it using my clips, and it fits really well. And then I will repeat that exact same process with the cotton. For this neoprene though, I just took that seam. When you get corners, it can be a little difficult to make sure that you don't sew over any like extra layers. So you just really want to make sure it's nice and flat and that you're only sewing your top as well as the sides. Now I repeated that exact same pinning process for the cotton as well, as you can see here, and I'm going to take that exact same seam all the way around. So here's the cotton cube as well as the neoprene cube, and now what it's time to do is basically put them into each other. So you're going to turn one so that it has like its right side is out or facing, and then the other one you're going to match them with right sides together and then pin all the way around, and just leave a little bit of an opening, as that's going to be how you will be able to turn it. So I normally use 2 either quilting clips or 2 pins to denote where I'm going to start and stop, and then I'm just going to take a straight seam all the way around this. And then once I'm done with that, you can trim off any extra fabric that you may have, and then you can turn this right side out. So this was really fun and really easy to do. It's once you had it turned out, you could see the fun fabric, you no longer have any raw edges. And the final step is to take a top seam, as this will make the bottom lay a little nicer as well as close off that opening that we had. So what I do for this is I just kind of pin it, and then since neoprene is hard to iron anyways, just very carefully make sure that you are along the edge of the fabric. So this is what the top seam ends up looking like. It looks really nice, and we have essentially our fabric cube is now complete for the cover for our serger. The best part is this would be machine washable and it goes on perfectly. If you like this video and you want to see more, be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.